Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim, and welcome to the TNA, a new show dedicated to sitting down and answering the pressing questions of you, my lovely viewing audience. I reached out recently and asked for some questions from you guys on Twitter, and got some fantastic responses, some of which we'll go through today. And if you'd like to add your questions onto the pile, make sure you leave them in the comments below, or you can tweet them directly at me, at Tim Leftwich on Twitter, of course. So with all that out of the way, let's get right down to it, shall we? Our first question is from Dari9602, who says, "What's your favorite part of your job?" I figure a nice softball question for our first one might not be too bad. Honestly, my favorite part of my job is actually quite simple. Everything. Like, I know that sounds cheesy, but everything about my job is great. Here's the thing. I work with some of the most amazing people on the planet who make some of the most awesome content on the internet. And every day I get introduced to a brand new challenge that's something I've never heard of before and probably won't do again. Well, that's not entirely true. A lot of things keep coming back up again. But you learn new skills, and I learn something new every single day that I go to work up there. And it's also the stability of a 9-to-5, which you really don't find in most creative fields. So my favorite part of my work is kind of everything. Our next question is from Kasul. I remind you that mispronouncing names is my thing. Who says, "What has been your favorite / most difficult prop to make while working at Rooster Teeth / all time?" God, that's actually a tough one. I think my favorite that I've made was the fake dog poop that ended up in the Invisible Dog $1 Million butt. But I think my favorite one that we've made of all time has got to be one of Marcus's. It's actually the Blunderbuss from the Order 1886 short. I don't know if you guys remember that, but you should. He made that from the stock of another gun and a damn vuvuzela horn, you guys. Like, he took a vuvuzela horn, stuck it onto the gun, and put a whole bunch of little parts from a steampunk set that he just happened to have, of course. And ended up spray painting the thing all in one solid color, giving it some nice little highlights and shadows and stuff. And suddenly it is one solid piece. Like, this thing was on the show floor during RTX at the RT experience booth. And that thing is fantastic for something so simple. It's awesome to watch him work like that. So that's got to be my favorite. And at Moof Murphy asks, "How did you get into the prop industry? What are some ways you can improve? Are there any websites or tutorials that I would recommend?" And honestly, I kind of stumbled my way into the prop industry kind of through the back door. I did a lot of special effects makeup that I learned back in college and grad school. And it was just kind of a skill that I cultivated on my own during Halloween, doing various costumes for friends. I haven't bought a costume in the last 7 years. I'm different kind of zombies every year. It's pretty great. And I ended up just doing one of those for Rooster Teeth, which technically qualified as art department to them, and we ended up working with Marcus during iBlade and Day 5 and a lot of the other projects that we've done together, and kind of taken my artistic talents in that direction. It just sort of fell into my lap. As far as ways that I can improve, I know that there are so many different ways of painting and different material types that I can learn. There's always ways of getting better. And that goes double for the technical side. Like, all of the editing work that I do, all of the video processing stuff, I don't know half of what the settings of an export in Premiere do. Like, seriously, all I do is take the recommended settings that I have from YouTube and from Premiere itself, which now has a 60 frames a second mode, and use that because I think that's what works best as far as what I've been able to Google. But as far as being able to tell you what VBA passes exactly do, I really don't know. And so there's all that to learn. Lynda.com is a great website that I use to take my initial learnings. But really, there's nothing much better than finding someone who's better than you and being with them for a little bit. Finding someone who loves what they do just as much as you do, has taken just as much time to become an expert at every single thing that they do, which should be exactly what you want to do, or at least it's exactly what I want to do. And follow them around. Learn everything that they have to offer, because those people have taken the time to gather all that information for a reason. Suck them dry like the little brain parasite you want to be. That's my recommendation anyway. A good props person is Bill Doran at Chinbeard on Twitter. I did Tim Talks with him a little bit ago, and he does some absolutely amazing props from Skyrim and oh god, what the devil is that game? Mass Effect. I don't know how I forgot Mass Effect there for a second. And it's really awesome to find somebody like that to be able to ask questions of when you get stuck on a project, and find someone whose opinion you trust when you need things judged. Honestly, those are both the best ways to improve and the best ways to kind of keep getting work in the industry. It gets your name around because you kind of keep pestering people. And then they see your work and they're like, okay, yeah, you're totally worth it. That's kind of my best advice. And our last question for this little pilotscapade comes from @OddLittleDuck on Twitter, who asks, what advice would you give someone who hasn't found their passion yet? Honestly, I would say do more things. If you haven't found something that drives you so much that even on your worst possible day, you go to bed waking up feeling excited to do it again the next day, then clearly you haven't done enough things. And there are such a myriad of ways to take everything that you love and turn it into a job that my guess is that you maybe just haven't found that right combination of things yet. And so go out into the world and experience more and talk to more people and express your ideas and see how many holes get punctured in them, because people are always willing to shoot down your ideas, and find which ones actually stick, because you never know when talking to someone at random gives you the idea that leads you to making a YouTube channel that becomes semi-successful and drives you to a town halfway across the country from where you were born to a job that you absolutely adore. I wonder whose story that could be. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this first episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're absolutely going to do some more of these. It's just me in here talking to myself, and I have fun doing that, so we're just going to keep doing that for the next couple of episodes. Like I said, if you want to add your own questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below, or tweet them directly to me @TimLeftwich. We're going to book in with that. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, we'll see you next time.